today's Anime Vanguards video, I'm doing a full tier list for all the units in the game, including all of the new units. So make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video, because past the tier list, I'll explain things, about how good the new units are, what they do, and things like that. But before this video starts, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to 100,000 subscribers. Apologies if I do sound tired this video, because I'm just going to drop this video and go to sleep. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if in the Discord server down below, I'm doing a Lucky Clips video and a bunch of different videos, not just Lucky Clips. Tomorrow I got a bunch of videos planned, so make sure to subscribe to the Discord. I'll stop yapping. Let's just get straight into the video. Okay, so how this tier list is going to work is I'm going to go all the way from C tier all the way to the top. You definitely want to hear what I'm saying. I'll try not to keep the video like extremely long, but we'll see what happens since there's a lot of new units. So there's a decent amount of yap. So I'll explain what new units you should get, and if you should summon for them, whatnot. And then I'll talk about overall, if you're a new player, what you need to get, what is whatever. So let's get straight into the tier list. So we've got C tier. Don't get these units, don't evolve these units, don't summon for them. It's pretty self-explanatory. B, don't summon, don't go for them. If you have them, you shouldn't really evolve them, but if you're really forced to, go ahead, okay? Now with good supports, these are supports where they're quite good, but there's either better options for them, like better slows, or they're only used in niche scenarios, so they're not really like must have good, like great supports, okay? Then we've got 18, and these are kind of like units that used to be quite good, or just they're kind of like they're good, and like you can evolve them and they wouldn't be terrible, but you shouldn't really summon for them. But it's not the worst evoing them, to be honest, and maybe they might have niche scenarios that they need to be used in, okay? Now we start to look at the meta units now. Meta supports. We already have a new unit in meta supports being Hercule, but first I'm going to talk about the new units added into this tier since my last tier list. One being Lancer. His Rupture is very, very good. He's not really used for his DPS as much anymore, in my opinion. He's more used for his Rupture, which completely stops bleed. The only other unit that does that is Vegito, so he's very, very good. He completely stops regen, not bleed, my bad. For this video continues, please buy my new UGC now and get Monarch. Now a lot of you know the now I'd get unique. I thought, why not make one for Monarch? Go cop the UGC, the link will be in the description. Roblox pretty much decides the price, so it might change a bit, go up, go down a little bit, but it'll be roughly around the same price as it is on the screen. Could be in the description. I appreciate a lot. It does cost me Robux to actually upload it. Link in the description, and yeah, you can get Monarch. So any enemies that are regening, completely stop their regen like forever. So very, very broken. And then we got Uryu. His passive, I forgot what it is now, but he is meta support because there's something like reflects the debuff or something like that, something along those lines. If you guys can check on the wiki or something, but yeah. And then Orihime is kind of good supports, but I put into meta supports just because in this update she is needed. No, she's not needed, but cleanse is needed, and she's a buff that does cleanse, so it's up to you guys. And then you got Sakura, who's just a cheap cleanse, because you need cleanse this update to stop, because there's a lot of new enemies that do energy drain, which takes damage away from your units, and to cleanse that you need Sakura or Orihime, or a unit that cleanses, okay? Now the meta supports is in no specific order, like I said, but you literally get the majority of these, which I'll go over in a bit. But to keep it brief, just get all of them. The only ones you don't have to get maybe is Kisuke if you have Alucard. If you don't have Alucard, get Kisuke, okay? And then, yeah, I'll just get the rest, to be honest. They all do different things. You don't have to get Subaru and Hakurin. They're both not obtainable anymore anyways. But they both do buff, like they buff a unit. So if you don't have either of these and you're new to the game, you have to get Orihime. Alright? Another reason why she's in meta supports. And no order for supports. Like I said, they all do different things. There's no point arguing about which one is better. Alright, now we're going to A+. Now with A+, a lot of these units are units that used to be quite peak and fell off, or they're just pretty good when they drop, but they're not as peak as maybe you'd want them to be. So yeah, here you got A+. They're still very, very good units. I highly recommend you evo them. Maybe not your first priority, but at some point you might as well. Why not? Get a little bit of rewards, okay? Then we got S. Now this is where we start to yap. We got new units in S tier, with one of them being Gohan. Now Gohan, you might say is worse than maybe Ichigo, maybe a little bit lower, but he's around here. He's not fully weak. He's got a decent size AoE, nothing too crazy. But what's so special about him is his low kind of low space, like not too high, but mostly his 100% crit chance. He can, if used correctly, which isn't too hard actually, you'll get him to 100% crit chance, which is kind of diabolical. But the problem is, that's really it. Like, his passives aren't too crazy, other than the fact that he can basically boost himself up to 100% crit chance. He's not too crazy, so yeah, the crit chance is carrying him up, like to high S, but Realistically, he might even be a little bit low on this tier list, but yeah, you don't really have to get him if you're kind of a lazy person, you're a busy person, you're working male or female, you know, you're employed or whatever. Maybe you don't have the time for it. You don't really have to get Gohan, but he is a nice unit. He's really cool. I wish he was even more broken, but he still is quite good. But yeah, it's mostly just his crit, and he has pretty good damage, but it's nothing crazy, to be honest. Alright, then we go on to SS tier, which is the highest tier of this tier list. Now, I just want to get this out of the way, okay? Boo is in SS tier, but because it's so complicated and I'm so tired, and plus there'd be a lot of arguments about this. Where he is in SS tier, I'm not sure, but SS tier means you have to get these units. You have to get these. So, unless they're not obtainable anymore, like Diavolo, for example, but he's in SS, okay? So you need to get him. That's simple as that. But where you want to put him, you guys claim in the comment section, but I'd rather not have it like I wouldn't have it incorrect instead of just to have him in the tier list. So I'd put him in, I don't know, but he is SS for sure, because the way he works is kind of complicated and I have to work it out wherever. So yeah, I'll kind of explain what he does briefly. I did a whole showcase on him on my channel, same with Vegito, so you can go check those out right now after you check out this video. But with SS, one thing I want to go over is the bottom three. Now some of you may say Choi Jong-un is here, some of you may say it's here, some of you may say it's here, but it's kind of intertwinable. Why? The new DMC units from the Battle Pass are so broken, you know, in my opinion. I think they're really, really good. They're definitely better than Saber. Some may argue that Ragnar is better than them, which I can understand, but I mean, look, Ragnar's not fully AoE, these guys are fully AoE. But the only thing is Ragnar is very, very good without the traits, whereas these guys, I mean, are they better than Ragnar without traits? I mean, their passives are quite good. This guy, when he does his Devil Trigger, which is like a charge of ability, which you can constantly keep doing, he does 100% damage and gets his crit quite high, and he does like double attacks, like so it's kind of crazy if you think about it. So, and they're both full AoE, which is insane. So I think they're very, very broken units in my opinion. I can kind of see why they made them broken, because they made the Battle Pass price higher and it just draws them in, like it draws players into the game. So I can kind of see why. So in my opinion, I put him above Choi Jong-un just because they're both full AoE. In my opinion, I think Dante is better than Virgil, but some people might say otherwise. Look, they're not that. They do different things, but in terms of like maybe DPS or whatever, they're not that big of a difference, okay? But yeah, and then we've got Yamamoto and Aizen. Should get all these units. I don't think too much to discuss here. And then we got Goku. Now, when I'm talking about Goku Super Saiyan 3, I'm talking about Goku and I'm talking about Vegito, because technically they are one unit, right? So talking about that, because when we look at Goku, right, we gotta look at the Spirit Bomb, for example, for one, as that's one part, the Spirit Bomb, the Nuke, and the Goku and Vegeta. And then we also got to look at Vegito. So if you look at him as a whole, I would say he's very, very broken. He's better than Yhwach. Some may say he might be below Yhwach, but no lower than that in my opinion. Because, yeah, sure, Vegeta can only be used for Infinite, but you got to keep in mind, yo, Goku to place down 1k yen. Not too hard to max out either, so... And them two on their own are quite good, and then you can also have the Spirit Bomb Nuke on Goku. So if you don't have enough time, because this stage is quite short, to pull off the Potara Fusion for Vegito. So you got to keep that in mind. But with that, keep in mind that Vegeta's only for Infinite. I guess you could say Sungshu and Igris is better, but he's still top 2 in my opinion. I think he's better than Yhwach, but it's very, very broken, okay? Like, you need to get him. So yeah, let me just zoom out on the tier list right now. 100%. Sorry if I sound tired, by the way, guys. It's because I am. It's been a long day. I'm gonna get this video out. Pray, go sleep. Okay, so let's yap. Let's finish off the yap. So what units would I get? Get both Battle Pass units, which you're gonna get anyways, but just make sure you evo them. They won't even need essence requirements, I don't think. So yeah, piece of cake. All right. Sorry if that's wrong and they do need essence. I apologize. I'm not 100% sure because I don't have them, but I'm pretty sure like some Battle Pass units don't really require essence. Okay, so get these two, get from Battle Pass, just play the game. Goku, go out your way to get him evo, then get Boo, and then you don't have to get Rohan. I forgot to mention what Hercule does. Hercule buffs farms depending on how many upgrades he has, which is interesting. He also buffs himself, but he's kind of goofy because sometimes he won't attack and he's just weird, but he buffs farms, so I forgot to mention that. I apologize. But yeah, he's just meta support because he'll be good in things like tournaments and whatever. So if I have to prioritize what units I'm getting, Goku, Boo, These two I just get along the way, and then you don't really have to get the rest. But let's say you're either a very endgame player, I'd get him. Maybe get Gohan. I mean, Gohan's cool. Like, it's just a cool unit. So I just like, I'm a Gohan Glacier. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, if you're a new player, what should you go for? In my opinion, I would say go for the Battle Pass units. You know, one of them, I don't know which one's level 25, which one's level 50, but just go for them, man. I mean, whilst you're grinding, you'll do the Battle Pass anyways. So if you get one of these two, like, just make sure you evo them because they're very, very good. Okay. Maybe. Yeah, you can't really get Goku evo. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Goku is kind of beginner friendly if you think about it, because you get the gems, right? You summon for him, the Patara earrings. If they don't patch the restart method, if the restart method was intentional, you could just do the restart method on the story. I mean, and then Goku Evo literally won't be that hard to get, and it'll be insanely broken. So I guess Goku's one. Saber's another one for new players. Ram is another one for new players. But if you want to know overall on the tier list, yo, I'm trying to become a pro at this game. What do I get? First, I mean, get all the meta supports. The only ones you don't need to get is, like I mentioned, you get Kisuke or Alucard, you don't get both. There's no specific order you should get them in other than the farms. Lucy you can't get anymore, unfortunately. And then some of these are harder to get than others, so it'd be quite self-explanatory when you actually look into getting some of these. And some of these you would kind of need more than others. It just depends on what you need at that time. But yeah, meta supports, you need to get most of these at the end of the day. SS tier, get all of these, but some of them are pretty difficult to get, so you might need to get some S tier units. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Subscribe, like, and comment. That's enough yapping. I've got so many enemies, so many videos planned. I did an 8-hour stream. I'm very, very tired. I'm gonna go sleep probably after this video drops. Like, comment, and subscribe. Lots of videos planned. Look at clips video tomorrow on my Discord server. And yeah, I already yapped enough. I'll be streaming soon tomorrow as well, since I did an 8-hour stream today. I'll probably not stream tomorrow, but the day after. Okay, subscribe, like, comment. I yapped about 5 times.